Hey there, I want to make some British bangers, but I cannot find rusk for sale anywhere near me. Luckily, rusk is pretty easy to make, so today I'm going to make some rusk. My name's Greg, welcome to my channel, The Gourmet Woodsman. Today I'm going to be following along on Scott Rea's method to make rusk. I know a lot of my viewers also watch Scott Rea, but if you haven't heard of Scott Rea, you should check out his YouTube channel, Scott Rea Project. He's a British butcher with a lot of great sausage recipes going on. So let's just dive into this rusk making thing. Today I'll be using 500 grams of flour, and I'm just going to put it into a strainer like this. I'm going to add just a pinch of salt, and for every 100 grams of flour I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I have 5 teaspoons of baking powder here. And I'm just going to get this through here. If you have an actual sifter, go ahead and use it. And that step gives you a really nice fine powder. Now I'll just make a well in the center of my flour. Slowly start adding my water. I've got 250 grams, so I got half the amount of water as flour. Every 100 grams of flour is going to be up to 50 grams of water. Flours aren't all the same, neither are climates, so the amount of water you might need to add could vary a little bit. And for that matter, it could vary on any given day. Some days there's more water in the air than others. So it's really about the moisture content of your flour, of the air. All those things make a little difference. We're mostly going on feel here. I might only use 200 grams of water. I might use the whole 250. I might even need a splash more. It's not really going to matter when it's all said and done. But as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit at a time, stirring it in until the flour is incorporated with that water. Alrighty then, now that all my water is mixed in, now I'm just going to get my hands in here and start trying to knead this into one nice pliable dough. After a couple minutes, it's picked up all the loose flour along the edge and on the bottom of the bowl. It's pretty pliable. Now then I'm going to roll it out. Something about a ½ inch thick. Might need a little flour. Might not. It's not sticking too bad. We'll see. If I need some flour, I'll add it. Now, this doesn't have to be pretty. I'm not making a bread. I'm making breadcrumbs, basically. I think that's good thickness. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but he says to grease it and then put in a piece of parchment paper. So I'm going to follow what he says. I'm going to put my rolled out rusk dough into a preheated 450 degree oven. That'd be 230 degrees Celsius. And I'll check in about 10 minutes. Got pretty much a little very dry biscuit with no fat. So I'm just gonna take it. Ooh, it's pretty warm still. Just gonna cut some strips now. And I'm not using my greatest knife because I'm doing it right on this pan. What you can see as I do this, it's steaming. And that's good, because what we're really trying to do is get all the moisture out. Yeah, I'm just going to tip these up on their side. So when I tip these out, I turn my oven down to 375. If you get a couple splits like that, no big deal. It's all turning into breadcrumbs eventually anyway. Now I got them all edge side up. Still pretty springy here. I'm going to give them 5 more minutes at 375 degrees. Which is about 190 degrees Celsius. There's still a pretty good amount of moisture in here. They're still pretty darn springy. I'm gonna flip them over the other direction. Can see but quite a bit of steam coming out. That's a good thing, we're losing the moisture. That's the whole point of this exercise here. Back into the oven at 375, 190 Celsius for another 5 minutes. I'm just going to roll them over to that final side. It has not been facing up yet. Back into the oven for 5 more minutes at 375. 190 degrees Celsius. After 5 minutes, I'm just gonna turn my oven off, let it cool down with this inside of there. Once these have cooled all the way down, you can see they're quite stale. All right, we're dry. Next step is gonna be to turn these into crumbs. I'm gonna be using my grating blade. Mine has a coarser and kind of a, I wouldn't call it fine, but it's less coarser. I'm gonna use the more coarse one. See how that treats me. Well, I'm gonna flip it around and do the other side. That's a little more coarse than I want it. That's much better. Well, folks, I'm not gonna lie, the last few sausage projects I've used this for, I've been very hard on it. I can tell that the old gal is getting tired. I don't think she has a lot of life left in her. A lot of these sausage projects, including this, you'd think breadcrumbs would be easy. But I think it might be because this is so tired. And maybe that chopping blade, I think I'm gonna need it anyway. I'm gonna need it anyway. This is just too coarse. Let's try switching over to the chopping blade here. There are different grades of rust depending on how finely ground it is, but this is really too coarse for any of them. So I'm just gonna pulse this. I don't want it to get too fine. I'm just gonna sift out the fines. This is a little coarser than what Scott's was, but pretty sure it's gonna work just fine since we're rehydrating it. Well, Scott does have a more commercial food processor. That's probably why he was able to get more out of that grating plate than I was able to get. That's looking all right to me. And then there is my rusk. It's not the most uniform. I do have some bigger pieces, but like I said, it's for sausage. That's gonna be just fine. And this real fine powder, I'll use that to thicken a gravy or something. I bet that'll be really good like that. So I'm just gonna store these in a plastic bag. I might seal them a little bit, keep in my freezer for later. And yeah, got some British bangers coming up soon. All right, everyone, if you want to see those British banger recipes, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, put some love into your food. Peace.